Hello and welcome to another video tutorial. This week we're going to be creating an awesome window card using some Hero Arts inks that I'm newly in love with, this seriously rad stamp set from Technique Tuesday, and this really cool stamp from Hero Arts that I just got in and I'm really excited to use. This is really great pattern. So I'm going to start with a card base. This is just Nina Craft Desert Storm cardstock that I had left over from another project. The corners are already rounded, so I'm just going to work with it. And I'm going to start out by cutting out my circles first, just so that I know where everything is going to be going, because this is the one thing that I'm completely sure of right now. So I'm just going to take some washi tape. Just anything low tack will do. If you have some Scotch tape, just make sure to kind of, you can kind of stick it to your hand first and then pull it up a little bit so it doesn't ruin the paper. And then I'm going to center it along the bottom here. And then when I have it where I want it, I can just tape it down. And then I'm going to go ahead and run it through my die cut machine, just open like this so it doesn't cut all the way through the card. And this die is from Simon Says Stamp. It's called the Tri-Circle die. And if you're over on YouTube, you can see the second link in the description below this video is always the supply list, so you can go and click on that and it'll show you where to buy it. Otherwise, if you go over on my blog post, I always have a list of supplies that I use in my videos, so that's where you can find it, along with everything else that I use on this card. So I have punched my little die cut out, so I have these really great circles that I'll save for another project. My next thing that I want to do is stamp my background. I guess I could have stamped my background first, but I wasn't exactly sure what color I wanted to do it in. So I'm just going to put this little piece of scratch paper on the inside, and then I want to do it in this really great pale tomato color, which is probably my favorite color right now. It's just so fresh and vibrant. Then I'm just going to press my card right into this stamp. And we have this really great texture. And this stamp, by the way, is from Hero Arts. It is the S5637. And I believe it's called like Ink Splatter or something like that. I'll have a link below. And now that we have this stamped, I'm going to go ahead and use some scratch paper to put my circles in on, and I'm just going to kind of line it up, make sure it's straight here, and then draw my circles on in pencil. Now I can go ahead and stamp on my piece, and I'm using the sentiment I'm doing is "This seriously rocks," and I'm going to do it in the middle one. And I'll use some navy mid-tone shadow ink, which is probably my favorite neutral right now. I'm way into navy, and it's perfect when you want to use a neutral, but you don't want it to be too stark. So we have our sentiment there, and I'm also going to go ahead and stamp some arrows. I want to make kind of a repeating pattern, and I'm going to try to do it so that the arrows show in all of the windows. And now that I have my pattern kind of randomly stamped across the circles, I'm going to use this lined image and the pale tomato to go in and stamp some really fun stripes inside of our arrows. And now that I'm done stamping in the lines for the arrows, I can go back in after this is dry and carefully erase the pencil lines. I'm just using a really good eraser. This is called a Staedtler eraser. You can buy this at pretty much any drawing or craft store, but any white eraser should work. I just really like it better than the end of a pencil. And you'll always know where this lines up because your sentiment will be in the center of the main piece. So we have this right here, and you can see, and we'll be adhering this to this white piece with a whole bunch of foam adhesive so that you can really see the dimension in there. Before I adhere this on here, it's going to make it really hard to do anything to this front of this card if we want to do anything specifically. So actually, before I add the foam adhesive and the little background piece, I'm going to go in with my white gel pen and go around these frames, just doing a quick little line around each one. Okay, so I drew little cute lines around the circles with a gel pen. And now I have some foam adhesive here, and I'm going to adhere my little sentiment piece to it. So we'll give this a try. I'm going to try to center this sentiment in the middle one. and then kind of let everything else fall where it is supposed to go. And then I can just press that into place. And now I can add extra foam adhesive under these kind of little 2 tabs just so they don't, you know, stick out or do anything weird. And then I'm going to do something that I wasn't really planning on, but I think this will make it look really good. To kind of reinforce the whole arrow theme, since you can't see an entire complete arrow, I'm going to go around the outside and doodle little arrows. And to do them kind of consistently, but they'll still look nice and hand-drawn. And I'm going to have them kind of going in random directions. I mean, you know, pointing one of 2 ways to make a little border around the outside. And I think this will kind of add to the cute little arrow theme that we have going on. So I've doodled my little arrows around the outside, and I think it really helps finish everything off. I really like it like this. And you know what? I think I'm just going to leave it like this. I really like it this way. And I think it is a nice balance of having a lot of different mixes of patterns without being super overwhelming, because we used the pale tomato ink with the craft, which they're both about the same amount of, they have both the same amount of pigment in them. So they act as almost kind of like a tone on tone while still bringing in some of the warmth with the reddish pink. And I think our colors work really well together. It's almost kind of nautical, which I really like about this time of year, kind of getting into spring. So that's a lot of fun. So thank you so much for watching this week, and I'll make sure to have another video tutorial up for you soon, and I will see you again next time on another video tutorial.